Om. Hari Om Tat Sat. What is Hatha Yoga? Nowadays, yoga and Hatha Yoga are globally renowned and are practiced by millions of people worldwide. The word yoga is so common that people often believe it is the same as Hatha Yoga, which they think simply entails a set of body gymnastics and breathing exercises. But neither of these assumptions are entirely true. There is a gulf of difference between the physical practice Hatha Yoga and yoga. Thus far, we have discussed the meaning of yoga from different angles. Now we will aim to understand the deeper meaning of Hatha Yoga. To lay the foundation for our discussion, we must first examine the meaning of Hatha. In Sanskrit, the word comes from the root verb hat, which means to leap or to jump, to be wicked, and to bind or tie to a post. It implies a path on which we jump with discipline in order to go higher, and there is some suggestion of violence, oppression, willpower, resolution, and perseverance. We must also examine the meanings and implications of ha and tha, because each syllable of a word has multiple meanings in Sanskrit. Ha means Lord Shiva, water, space or sky, blood, a cipher, auspiciousness, paradise, meditation, dying, fear, knowledge, and Lord Vishnu. Tha means pride, horripilation of hair, supreme spirit, and loud noise. Moreover, the classical yogis describe Ha as the seer, the self, the indwelling spirit, Purusha, the sun, the inhalation, and prana, life force. They also describe Tha as Mother Nature, Prakriti, Chitta, memory, consciousness, moon, and Apana, the function of the life force in the lower part of the body. Hatha can also mean union, particularly the union of Prakriti and Purusha. So let's see. Prakriti was Mother Nature, and Purusha was the indwelling spirit. So Hatha means union of the indwelling spirit and Mother Nature. Prakriti and Purusha, the sun and the moon, prana and apana, Shiva and Shakti, the supreme spirit and the individual soul. The union of the sun and the moon. There is a beautiful verse in Sanskrit in which yogis speak about Hatha Yoga, referring to it as the friendship or the figurative union between the sun and the moon. Ha is known as the sun and Tha is the moon. The union of the sun and the moon is Hatha Yoga. We can also find a description of how the sun and the moon work together to nourish plants, or in other words, living organisms, in the Vedic scriptures. During the daytime, plants receive and absorb sunlight, causing photosynthesis to occur, which allows them to make their own food. Although the strong sun might make them wilt a little, the soft evening moonlight allows plants to again become refreshed and strong. So in this way, the Vedic scriptures tell us how the sun provides energy and the moon provides nectar, the result of which is beautifully growing plants. Even in traditional Western farming practices, there are specific days for planting and harvesting. A similar system can also be found in the Vedic calendar, which details suitable days for these and also other such actions, all of which depend on the position of the sun and the moon. Hatha, or the union of the sun and the moon, supports all creation on this beautiful planet Earth. Therefore, we can also understand Hatha as breath, or the union of inhalation, ha, and exhalation, tha. In this way, the practice of Hatha Yoga can be understood as loving the Creator in every breath. In this way, the practice of Hatha Yoga can be understood as loving the Creator in every breath. That is exactly what I mean when I say that it is impossible to understand yoga until you have practiced. Once you have practiced on your own for a certain amount of time, when you've put in a certain amount of hours, then this truth becomes really the only truth that matters in life. In this way, the practice of Hatha Yoga can be understood as loving the Creator in every breath, the union of the indwelling spirit and Mother Nature. In the body, Ida and Pingala pranic cycles. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Oh no, I'm right. In the body, the Ida and Pingala pranic cycles, pranic channels that pass through the left and the right nostrils, respectively, are related to the moon and the sun. Ha breathing occurs when the right nostril. I'm sorry, I was not focused. I started thinking about life. Ha breathing occurs through the right nostril and is known as the solar breath. When it happens, we feel quite active and digestion as well as circulation are improved. On the other hand, Tha breathing occurs through the left nostril and is known as lunar breath. When it happens, we might feel a little lazy and our digestion and circulation might also be weak. There are many yogis in India who adapt their consumption patterns to their breath. When the breath occurs easily through their right nostril, they eat solid food, but when the breath flows fluidly, my goodness, Pranananda, what are you trying to do to me? But when their breath flows fluidly on the left side, they drink. Interesting. When the breath occurs easily through their right nostril, they eat solid food, but when their breath flows fluidly on the left side, they drink. Under normal conditions of physical and mental health, breathing naturally changes from one nostril to the other at regular intervals, but several techniques exist which can be used to bring about alterations to its flow. Ultimately, we can use this knowledge of Hatha to properly and effectively guide the flow of our breath in order to create union between the sun and the moon and have equal pressure of breath in both nostrils to deepen our meditation practice. Other meanings of Hatha. As we have mentioned, Hatha can also mean being a little strict and persistent. It is the attitude of having the will and resolve to get something done. We sometimes need to be this way in our spiritual life. We need determination and steadfastness. Hence, this is the practical aspect of the Hatha attitude. Another meaning of Hatha relates to the 7 chakras in our body. Each is described as a lotus with a specific number of petals. The Muladhara, Svadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddha, Agnya, and Sahasrara chakras are said to be lotuses of 4, 6, 10, 12, 16, 2, and 1,000 petals, respectively. The first 6 chakras have a total of 50 petals. In the Agnya chakra, or the soul center, there are 2 syllables. Ha and Ksha. In the heart center, or the Anahata chakra, the 12 syllables it's using syllables to describe petals on the lotus. In the heart center, or the Anahata chakra, the 12 syllables begin with Ka and end with Tha. Thus, the first syllable of the soul center and the last syllable of the heart center, taken together, form the word Hatha. What is the message in this? Simply put, transforming our heart and reaching the soul is the simplest meaning of Hatha Yoga. Transforming our heart. The heart is a vital place in spiritual life and should therefore be both biologically and emotionally strong. Indeed, we should not allow any weakness to take root there. Emotional attachment or turmoil in our heart can bring hell into our life, while a heart with balance and harmony can take us to states of heavenly bliss. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, "O slayer of enemies, stand up and be free from your weakness of heart." Most of us have troubles with the heart. By this, I am not referring to biological or medical heart problems. I am referring to too much emotion, fear, and insecurity. We feel this way because we live in ignorance instead of reality and truth. The sun, Ha, is knowledge and intellect, and the moon, Tha, is the mind and the heart. Hatha therefore means living with knowledge and disciplining the mind. Thus, the true spirit and purpose of the practices of Hatha Yoga is to bring about real change in our life as well as a healthy relationship with all of creation and the Creator. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. May peace prevail. Have a beautiful day. I hope that you learned something. I hope that you can apply some of this to your own life. If you're thinking like, that all sounds great, but where is the Hatha Yoga? I'm working on it. I promise I'm working on it. It is somehow so much more complicated to film a yoga video than to teach a yoga, excuses. There are always many excuses. Oh, you know what? Hold on a minute. Many excuses. We may know what is good for us, but we might not always try to do so. Likewise, we may know what is bad, but we still might have difficulty eliminating those things from our lives. Duryodhana expresses exactly this in the Mahabharata. I know what is good, I do not like to do it. I know what is bad, I am not able to get rid of it. Some divine being hiding within me is directing me, and I am doing so accordingly. Excuses like this are convenient, but if we want to grow up, we have to change our ways. If a little flower bud wants to blossom in winter, it must be brought inside because the low outdoor temperatures and lack of sunshine will prevent it from blooming completely. We also need to take care of ourselves and make an effort to live in a better environment. This is why my master used to say, every individual has inherited divinity and is potentially divine. To manifest it, he needs a good environment and good culture. 3 other things that Sri Gurudev also used to stress were heredity, environment, and culture. By heredity, he was not referring to family. He meant that we are all children of God. This is truth. As children of the divine, divinity is our birthright, and we thus should manifest it through ensuring we live in the correct environment and culture. Sri Gurudev's specific definition of environment referred to our teacher and his or her teachings. By culture, he meant our own spiritual practice. Time passes quickly and stops for no one. For this reason, it is imperative to ask ourselves, what have I done today? Have I watched my breath during normal and natural activities? Have I been conscious throughout the day? For how long? Consciously watching our breath is simple. We do not have to do anything special, like keep our head down or our legs up. Breathe with love. Let every inhalation be a breath of love, peace, and joy. Can you do so? Or do you, like Duryodhana, make excuses? We are three, thou art three, have mercy on us. We are three, thou art three, have mercy on us. We are three, thou art three, have mercy on us. We are three, thou art three, have mercy on us. We are three, thou art three, have mercy on us. We are three, thou art three, have mercy on us. We are three, thou art three, have mercy on us. Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha. Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha. Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha. Ganesha Sharanam Sharanam Ganesha. Oh Jai Ganesha Jai Ganesha Jai Ganesha Deva. Jai Ganesha Jai Ganesha Jai Ganesha Deva. Oh Jai Ganesha Jai Ganesha Jai Ganesha Deva. Jai Ganesha Jai Ganesha Jai Ganesha Deva. Om Gam Garavare Namaha. 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 Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Have a beautiful day.